Man, tough Fort game versus a division opponent. The guys we don't like in the Saints, and the guys came out victorious. You know, they found a way to win today, you know, getting down to that onside kick. Everybody going out there and executing at a very high level, just across the board. You know, those guys are always going to come out ready to play. Division games, that's what these things always are, and couldn't be more happy for the guys going out there and finishing the season off the right way.
Yeah, Coach, could you discuss the play of the special teams? You get the block punt there to get you started, and 4 field goals from the kicker today.
Huge job by those guys. You know, the block punt was huge, you know, set us up, you know, to score, and then to be able to go out there and nail, you know, all those field goals by Zane. And then obviously, you know, Bradley, I forget what his exact stats were today, but putting the ball in favorable position for us, being able to flip the field when he had to punt it. You know, those guys came out and played some heck-of-a defense, and you got to win on different phases of the game. And today, our special teams came up big for us.
Just how do you feel? You end the season with 4 straight wins, obviously, but you don't make the playoffs, but you end on a winning note. Is it mixed emotions? Is it what could we have done? A play here, a play there, game here?
No, one game. You know, one game be the difference. You know, everybody's 8-9 in our division, and you had one game out there that we could have won that would have that made a difference and made everybody a lot happier. But obviously, we want to go to the playoffs. We want to do major things. We want to do really good football things. But the only thing we can do today was win this game, and that's what the guys do. Our business is winning football games, and they did it today.
You got the sack record. How significant, if at all, is that to you, the team sack record?
Stats are for losers. It's more about us, finding a way to get to the quarterback, really setting our mind to it this week. Got to give a lot of credit to, Terry, obviously, and his staff, being able to find ways to build our D-line, build our people up on defense to be able to go get after the quarterback. It's been a 2-year process of getting those guys, whether it's been Brandon Dolis, whether it's been Rook, whether this year, whether it's been Jalen Walker and all the different guys that's a part of that, and James Pierce. And then obviously building the secondary at the same time, being able to get a guy like Watts, for him to contribute at a very high level to make people hold the football, for us to be able to rush it, going out and get some of the vets like we've been able to get, David Onyemata, being able to get Leonard Floyd, being able to utilize AK, that's been people that's been here before, and find ways to get up the quarterback with this defensive staff being creative. I think it was a marriage well met.
Have you had any discussions yet with Arthur Blank about next year and your future here?
No, you can't worry about those things, right? The ball's sitting right there, and all those things. This is a business, what we do, man. I know it's fun for you guys to talk about it, but those decisions always be made at the proper time. Those decisions always be made, utilized, whatever's best for the Atlanta Falcons.
Do you expect to be back next year?
My expectations is always to be back, right? And then I'm going to coach this football team as long as these allows me.
Coach, it seemed like there was an illness going around the team today. Do you feel like it had an impact on this game?
Not today. It was the week, man. Obviously a bunch of guys got sick. A bunch of guys stepped up in different ways. Obviously I can't give enough credit to AJ. Kirk Cousins. All of those guys going out there and battling through that stuff, man. Being tested positive for flu, doing all the stuff you need to do to get ready to go. Those guys fought. We had one guy that had to miss. Ronnie, he just couldn't go. But other than that, man, the guys went out there really stepped up in a big way. Rook. It was a bunch of guys that got sick throughout the process, and no excuses. We didn't talk about it. We just reported it so you guys knew, so let you know he wasn't making none.
And then Drake seemed to be very frustrated at various points in the game. Can you address what was going on with that?
Yeah, Drake is always frustrated, right? Drake wants to go out there and beat everybody and be dominant and get things done the right way, and he wants to execute at a very high level. He is a high-energy player. He's a pit bull, and when you got to get the pit bull and make sure he's not always off the leash, and sometimes he's going to go that way and go dark. It is what it is. That's why we love him.
Particularly given the way the team finished, do you feel like it was capable of accomplishing more than it did?
Yeah, no doubt. We felt that way right from the beginning, Ken. There's no secret. We felt like we can be a playoff football team, and we didn't achieve those things. There's a couple games here and there that we'd like to go back and take some of those back, but you can't. This is a big-time season. This is a great league, and you got to find ways to utilize and take advantage of the opportunity that you have in front of you.
Coach, after last season, at the end of last season, you named Michael Penix a starting quarterback for this year. Are you ready to name a starting quarterback now?
Man, it's a due process to everything, right? We'll go out and we'll figure it all out. Our young quarterback is, dealing with a significant injury right now, and everything about our young quarterback will be about our young quarterback, and we'll be focusing on him, make sure he can get out there and throw, do all the proper things he needs to be ready to start, and we'll find a way to go out there and make sure he's back. And as soon as he's healthy enough, we can make some type of decisions like that.
Has Kirk Cousins played and winning 4 straight games to end the season? Has that impacted that decision at all?
No, man, that's what we felt about Kirk Cousins right from the beginning, right? That's why we went out and got him. We felt like he had the ability to be able to lead us to the playoff march. It didn't go the right way at the end of the stretch last year. We had to go to the young quarterback a lot sooner than we had thought. We went to the young quarterback. He went out, got hurt this year. Kirk came in and did exactly what we wanted him to do. It was the reason we were able to keep him and keep him on our staff and keep him on a part of our building. You know, despite all the other unpopular belief, that was our belief. That was the thoughts from our team of people that make decisions. And I'm glad we did.
It's so rare for a rookie to reach that double-digit sack total. What does it say about James, and can you just kind of speak to his development from day one that he got here?
We went out and traded back in the first round to get a really talented football player. I thought it was something that was very unique to be able to have the relationship with your general manager, with the owner, to be able to have those conversations, to be able to put yourself in position to do those things. All decisions you make, they're always hard, they're always tough, and they're always going to be heavily criticized. But it sure is nice when a guy comes out and performs like you think and he's capable of doing. So for James to come out here and get better and better throughout the course of the season, to be able to finish with 10.5 sacks, arguably the rookie of the year, arguably, you know, a guy that's just gotten better throughout the process that's helped us, you know, be able to get up the quarterback and be able to become a better defense than we were in the past. I can't say enough about him, you know, and then you always got to put in, you know, Xavier Watts getting 5 picks and being able to get a fumble recovery today and just to watch those guys grow and develop this year. And we did those things with the thoughts that we had a chance to go do it this year. We fell one game short, according to the math. But we all know that there's a couple other games out there that we had and we had an opportunity to win that could have us in significant moments of going out there and making significant plays in significant times.
Raheem, what are the things that you think you guys need to do as a team and as an organization to finally reach the playoffs again and to finally have a winning season?
You do what we've been doing the last couple of weeks. You know, go out there and win the football games that we're capable of winning. You know, find ways to win like we have the last couple of weeks. These guys, we got enough people in place right now to be able to do what we need to do, and we knew that. And that's what makes it so frustrating for all of us. If we can go out there and execute and do the things that we need to do every single week like we've done the last couple of weeks and make that who we are. And that was a part of why we wanted to do it and show it. You know, it wasn't about me. It wasn't about anybody else. But it was about us going out there, finding ways to do the things that we know we're capable of doing to prove it to ourselves. You got to practice winning, and that's what those guys did the last couple of weeks.
Coach, you know the division really well. How good does it feel to have swept the Saints?
It's always good to beat the Saints, man. We don't like those guys. Not personal. It's obviously our business. It's obviously our business to hate those guys. Obviously they got a lot of really good coaches over there, a lot of good people, a lot of good players. Cam just walked me off the field, let me know all about it, not drafting them. Those guys are really good people, but we love beating them. We enjoy beating them. We look forward to beating them again.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good one, guys.
All righty, I'll start and take any questions you have. It's always, positive when you can finish the season on a win. It's always a strange feeling when you're not going into the playoffs. I've enjoyed our home crowd today and the energy they brought. Love the way it was a team win again with great special teams contributions, great defensive plays. They kind of put us in a position where we were having a tough day going against a really good defense, and felt like our special teams and our defense really helped us when we needed it. Great to finish the season on a 4-game win streak, and feel like there were a lot of positives that you take with you now into the offseason, but can take any questions you have.
Kirk, I asked Coach Morris the same thing. Just sweeping the Saints. I mean, I know the season ends the way it ends, but sweeping the Saints, that's a pretty good feeling, yes?
I think so. I think it's a rivalry. I think it matters a lot to our fans, and I think the all-time series was at dead even going into this season. So to win 2 is, to go 2 up is a big deal in this series because it's hard to get that much separation. But it was a hard-fought one today and felt like a rivalry game.
You said strange, very strange to see a 3-way tie there at the top. Does it make you? I know this is just right after the game, but are you going to have temptations now to look back and think about one little play, one little game, what can make a difference?
Well, I think you live it when you show up in April. I've had 5 of my 14 seasons, I think. I might be wrong, but 5 of my 14 seasons, I have missed the playoffs on a 1-game difference, where if we had won one of the games we lost, we would have gone. So you go in April and you say, one play at any moment could be the difference in winning or losing. And so every install, every technique, every fundamental, every ball placement, you kind of live with this constant tension, which I'm sure it makes it fun for the fans, but it makes it tense for us as players and coaches because you live with that tension at all times as you prepare, and we're living it right now.
You mentioned a couple of weeks ago you were approaching this like a contract year. Do you think this might have been your last game with the Falcons?
Hard to know. I'd like to keep playing, but we'll see, how things play out in March or even after that.
Do you want to come back here?
I would love to be back here. We'll see how things, play out. At this point, you kind of just see where it goes.
Yeah, Kirk, what was happening offensively today kind of looked disjointed at times, but you was able to get in the field goal range a couple times to put some points up.
Yeah, I don't have a great answer to summarize it. I do think that, we had their blitzes for the most part picked up, but they did a good job of just kind of making the pockets muddy. Felt like their rush was fairly stout. At times we couldn't string enough plays together, stubbed our toe on a play here or there, had a hard time getting the screen game going. My interception was a screen that they made a nice play on, but that one was tough because you feel like if you just can dirt the ball there, you got at least a field goal. So it was a play here, a play there, and you just felt like you left points on the board or left some things out there. But good defense, and they made it hard today.
And Drake London's play, the touchdown and the high point grab on the sideline.
Both were great plays by him. He also did a nice job throttling in the zone on a play action pass later in the game. His high point catch was awesome. And the touchdown, he was open initially in the rhythm of the play, but I had kind of gotten ahead of it and got off of him, so I was grateful that he stayed in the move, and I was able to find him off schedule because he was actually open early and then he was open late. But great job by him. Great design by our coaches there too.
Hey, Kirk.
Hey, Mark. How are you?
I came in a little bit late. How you feeling?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm hanging in there.
Flu?
I walked in today with my briefcase, my suitcase, and a Kleenex box. So I knew what kind of day it was going to be. But adrenaline takes over, and you feel pretty good. But, yeah, I was a little weaker today going into it than normal.
It wasn't the Kringle rut?
You know what? Who knows? And that's where I say you got to wait to be naughty till after the season because you start eating that stuff too early and your body can quit on you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kirk. Yes, sir. Just want to ask, is there any standout moment this season that you can kind of take with you through the offseason?
For me, it's always about the people. And, the offensive line, Ryan Newsel, Jake Matthews, Chris Lindstrom, Elijah, Burge, Mooney, Drake, KP, Charlie, Silsey, Bijan, Tyler, the coaches, the conversations I have with DJ Williams day in and day out, week in and week out. It's the people that make the job special. And, I had said when I had to go when Mike got hurt that, you want to use the platform you have to influence people and not use people to help advance your platform. And I feel like that's what I'll remember is, these last, whatever it was, 7 weeks, just, having those relationships and being in the fight together and all trying to help one another. And I think, there's a good feeling walking away from it after you go 5-2 down the stretch or win 4 in a row. You feel good about being able to you feel good about the work you're able to accomplish. Okay. Thanks, guys.